Let us today discuss the games that men play. Now, it's been a while since I wrote an article about a lot of the ways that men test women. It was called the Hoe Test, how and why men test your values and morals. If you want to read it, well, I'll put a link to it in the show description page below. So you can just click it and just go right there. It's on survivingdating.com, but there's like 500 or 600 different articles on that site. So I'll just make it easier for you to find. But I'm looking at my notes, which I did type this time. Everyone will be happy to know. Um, so, I thought it would be good though, because that was it was focusing on a particular type of game for a particular reason. And what has happened though, of course, is that over the years, it's come to my, attention even more so how many games men play for no reason at all. They just play them just for the fuck of it. And how many young women don't know when a game is afoot. Y'all get caught up. So I said, okay, well, every so many years there's like a new audience, and I have to kind of I'll take information that has been on the blogs and repackage it in a different format. So before it was Blog Talk, and now it's YouTube. But it's basically the same information, but it's just being repackaged. So what I wanted to do though was kind of expand on what's on the Hotez article and include some other points so that you can, really get up on some of the games. So I'm limiting it to 10. These are like the top, what I feel are some of the top 10 games that men play. So for each point that I bring up, I'm going to respond to it in three different, in three segments. How do most of you respond? Why did the guys doing it? And what you should do and how you should handle, him playing this particular game. So let's get started. Game number 1. He suddenly stops contacting you. Now, this doesn't necessarily mean that he stops contacting you altogether, which is discussed in the video I did called Ghosting. So I'll also put a link to that, so you can just click that and go and listen to that if you want an in-depth explanation of how people get dumped by somebody just going ghost on them. I'm not really talking about that though. What this game is the guy, like, first, he just couldn't get enough of you. He just like gotta call you 900 times a day, and I just want to hear your voice. And you constantly getting all these little texts. You get a good morning text, you get a good night text, you get a happy lunch day text, whatever. And then suddenly all that drops off, right? So you're like, what's going on? Why is he not contacting me like he used to? Now, the purpose for this game is to see how you gonna handle it. There's no other reason for it. There's like to see how you handle it, what you do in return. Now, he may be on his way out of the relationship too, you know what I mean? So he dibbing and dabbing in other places, which that's always a possibility. But some of them just play this game. It's just like a test. And what they want to do is see how you're going to respond to it. And what most of you do is you start calling him. You start texting him. You start asking, why did you do this and why is this happening? You like want all these words. And I keep telling you, you don't go by what men say, go by what they do. And if this situation, he's like off in some corner somewhere, dilly-dallying around and intentionally not contacting you, you don't ask him why he's doing it. You just say, well, I noticed that your communication has dropped off. I guess you busy, so, I'm going to just go on and do my thing and catch up with you when I see you. Because, see, what he's trying to do is set you up so that he might even use the excuse, well, I haven't really been able to contact you because, it's work and school or, my kids, he's going to have some excuse that's going to be really difficult for you to challenge because it sounds so reasonable, right? So if you're going to feel like, well, if I challenge it, he's going to think I'm a bitch. He's going to think I'm possessive. He's going to think I'm jealous. You got all these things going on in your head. That's not it at all. He just being a little fucker. So what you do is, just say, well, since you're so busy, I got an invitation to do such and such over here. So, I'm going to go about it and I'll call you when you get back. Leave that voicemail for his ass. Okay, then go and do whatever the fun thing is. He gonna be blowing up your phone. And then in the meantime, when you get back, like, oh yeah, it was so good, it was so fun, and you would have really enjoyed it. But I know you're so busy with your job and your kids and your life. So I didn't invite you. See, that's how you fuck them over when they try to do that little simple shit. It's like, you ain't stopping no train from running here. And it's like, you want to play games? Let me show you how to do it. Okay? I am a bitch. I tell you, I would just make a nigga just be really sad they try that shit with me. But basically, that's really what you want to do. You don't play into it. Don't get all emotional. That's what they want you to do. They want you to get all fretful and, depressed and anxious and all that stuff because it makes them feel powerful and it makes them feel like they have control. So you don't do that. You might feel that way, but you better write it in your diary, or you better like go to hit the racquetball or squash or whatever you need to do to get that frustration out. Don't you dare start calling him and asking him why he's not calling you. Don't you do that. I swear. Okay, game number 2. He'll start making ridiculous requests, ridiculous demands, shit that's just so outlandish. It's crazy. Now, sometimes this is in the form of, they start talking about, well, they want to have a threesome, right? They want to have, they want to bring this other woman into the situation, and they want you to accept it. This is a very, very common one. This is also a test to, see where your mind is. And a lot of you are so afraid of losing the guy and losing the relationship that you go on, you go over on with what you agree to with his bullshit. Sometimes it'll be stuff like, I don't know, they want to, you give them money. I mean, they want you to wake up, you got to be at work at a certain time, but they want you to wake up at some ungodly hour and drive them to the airport. I mean, shit that's just like totally inconvenient, just obnoxious, that makes no goddamn sense, okay? But they try to, put that out there, so then if you don't do it, you start feeling guilty and, confused and again, anxious and worried and fearful of losing the relationship. Again, that's the intent. So that's how most of you respond, right? So I told you what the game is. What do you do in return? When he says, well, I want to have a threesome, say, is that right? Well, let's start by bringing in a dude, because I've always wanted to do that. And then you can sit over there in the corner and watch. Watch what his face does. I mean, just talk just crazy shit just like him. And this one girl, she was telling me how she had this boyfriend. He's like, well, he wanted to pee on her, right? Somewhere, I guess he saw this in a porno movie. I don't know where the nigga got the shit from, to tell you the truth. It was just so disgusted, I didn't even know what to say to her. But she's like, he wanted, so then finally he kept bugging her about it, right? Instead of her sticking to her guns and saying, absolutely not, you're not going to do any fucked up shit like that to me. She let him wheedle her down. So finally she said, well, okay, well, you could be in the shower. So, so he pees on her in the shower. And then after that, he wanted to break up with her. Why? Because she was stupid. It's like he was testing you to see your resolve and how strong you were. That's very important to most men. They want to know that before they invest their heart and stuff and money and whatever else they may have into you, that you are really, about something, that you have some kind of fortitude and a backbone. And too many of y'all, your heads are all fucked up and you all on this, I got to please my king shit, and you sacrifice yourself to do it. You sacrifice your morals, you sacrifice your values, you sacrifice your goals, you sacrifice everything in order to get and keep this man around, and they don't really want you to do that. You think that's what they want. That's not what they want. They want a woman who's about something that they can be proud of. And if you go out like that, then you pretty much guaranteed that he's gonna just treat you like a toss up and that it's gonna be over. I mean, I don't know how to be more blunt. That's my thing. I'm gonna just tell you. But y'all going along with all this stuff, and then you're like, our relationship didn't work, too well after we had the threesome, and it just went down. You think? You know what I mean? Don't be stupid. Okay, so let's talk about another one. He starts being inattentive. This is like when you talking to him, he's like, you talking, right? You hear, you talk, and he normally is, he's looking at you, he's all into it. But now he's like, he's or he stops, wanting to really be around you too much. Um, he starts giving you the one word answer treatment. I discussed this in another video, how they do, the one word answer and all that, what that really means. So I'll again, we'll try to remember to put the link up. But how do most of you respond when the guy starts doing that? What's wrong? What's happening? Why are you acting like that? And then you get all worked up, you get all anxious, and you get all like, insecure and everything. Don't you understand that's what he's trying to make you feel? It makes him feel powerful. I'm telling you, most of these dudes are like abusive. That's really what this is emotional abuse. But, the thing about it is, you have the power here to not let it affect you. If you fall for the game, then of course you're going to feel all upset. But if he does, he starts doing this shit that I'm talking about, all you have to do, if he starts being inattentive, is go and do something else. And then when he starts trying to talk to you, treat his ass the same way. Give him a taste of his own medicine. He calls you, he wants to talk, he wants to get together. I'm busy. I don't have time. Or he's telling you some shit, you get up and walk the fuck out the room. Try that. Don't let them treat you like that. And then I'm a big one. Like you shoot me with a bullet, I'ma blow your ass back with a cannon. And so, it's like they don't really want to. Oops, my phone is thinking I'm trying to talk to it. Hold on a second. Hold on. They think that that's okay, and that you have to accept that nonsense, which you really don't. So, if you see him treating you like that, just remember, anytime you're in a relationship with a man and he's not giving you the relationship that you want, because this is all about you, and he's not giving you the relationship that you want, dump his ass, get next to him, put his ass in the wind, as they used to say. Okay, number 4. Instead of giving you compliments, he starts doing what they call negging, which is kind of like a backhanded compliment. So when he says it, you're not really sure, was that a compliment or was he digging, was that a dig? And in reality, it was a little bit of both, and it was more of a dig than a compliment. It was like a dig covered in a compliment, like a Trojan horse. Okay. So what do you want to do? How do you do? How do most of you do? You look confused, you get angry, you get frustrated. Your feelings get hurt, because you're looking for validation from him. You're looking for a lot of women who come with this and say, well, he gives me my self-esteem, which we've already talked about. That's the key word there is self, ladies. Nobody can give it to you. You give it to yourself. But, they feel attacked. And I mean, it's a normal thing to have some kind of negative reaction, don't get me wrong. The key though is that you don't show it to him. That's what he's looking for. He wants you to feel all fucked up because that makes him feel good. You got to keep remembering, we're not dealing with normal people. We're dealing with idiots that have like this low self-esteem and a sense of just like insecurity that's like magnified by times 10. So in order for them to feel more secure, they need to make you feel insecure. Got it? So keep that in mind. We're not talking about alpha males here. We're talking about idiots. So, and this is unfortunately, at least 80% of men fall into this category. So what you want to do, instead of responding in this angry, frustrated, confused way, is when he, makes these little backhanded, little negative comments, it depends on your style. I have to say, it depends on your style. Some of you might say, well, that sounded like your criticism. What are you trying to say? Okay, you could be like that. Or you could be like me and he says some little fucked up shit. You go for his jugular and start talking some smack about his black ass that will make him cringe. Okay, so you understand, don't ever talk about me like that. Don't you ever fix your monkey lips to say any fucked up shit to me that's even remotely a criticism. Because I'm going to hurt your feelings, every single one that you ever had since birth. I'm going to find them, I'm going to fuck them up. That's me. I'm not going to play that. And I just, my tongue, I would just go on and on for 5 minutes, just talking shit about you to make you feel this tall. So that's not really the way to get on my good side. Some women it works, they they crumble and feel crushed and then go overboard, to try to please the dude. That's what he wants. He wants you to bend over backwards and please him. I'll be like, where's my baseball bat so I can bust you upside the head, knock some sense into your dumb ass. Okay, then number five. Even worse than the ones who do the negging are the ones that start comparing you to other women. Oh, wait a minute. I need a swig. Notice what's in this glass. This ain't water. This is wine. I told you about the California wines. It's some good stuff. I like to drink wine and tea when I do my videos. It depends on which topic it is. But this is a wine moment. Okay, so in this one, he starts comparing you to other women, or comparing you to maybe your friends, but usually what they do is compare you to one or more of their exes. Okay, now what is that? What's his goal there? His goal is to make you feel competitive in order for you to start jumping through hoops to just be extra, to go bend over backwards, to not be like those, to be better than those women, and give him more, do more for him, be more, and all this other shit. Okay, try that shit if you want to. Now, a lot of you, like I said, it works because you don't know that it's a game, and you don't know what he's saying that for. You don't understand what's going on. That's why I'm making this video. So, for people like me who do know, though, this is what you say in response to something like that. Well, if you thought the bitch was so fabulous, take your black ass on over there where she is. Get the fuck out of my face. How simple is that? See, because if that was so good, then why ain't your ass over there? I mean, this is like a duh moment. It just don't take a rocket science to figure that out. You like the bitch so much, you like the way she did everything that you talking about, take your ass over there. Okay, because that ain't gonna happen here. This is me. See this? This is me. This is how I do shit. This is how it works over here. And if that ain't to your liking, motherfucker, there's the door, hit it. I mean, I don't know what else to say. That's just the way it is. Okay. So, yeah, we don't do the comparison thing. Okay, number 6. He starts behaving in aggressive ways that you might find actually threatening, kind of scary. Some guys, they'll start like yelling, whereas before he was like Mr. Calm, Mr. Wonderful, he never raised his voice. Well, suddenly, now all of a sudden, he starts, ranting and raving. He's like stomping around, throwing stuff, maybe he punches the wall, or as he gets all in your face. I mean, do women find it threatening? It's like the very first step, before you feel like he's going to hit you or something like that. But since he didn't actually hit you, a lot of women say, well, he didn't really touch me, so it's not like I was a battered woman or anything, but it scared me so much. So it scares them, and so what you do is you start kowtowing and doing what it is that he wants you to do. You do, dress the way he wants you to. You don't go where he wants you to not go. You be where he wants you to be. You just do everything the way he wants you to do because you got so scared by that behavior. That was his goal. Instead, what you do is fight fire with fire. He throws something, you pick some shit up and throw it at his ass. He wants to punch a hole in the wall, pick up something and bust a hole in the wall yourself. I mean, whatever they do, I magnify it by 10. It's like, we can do what we gonna be, bust all the holes out, walls out. I don't really give a fuck. But that's the way you want to go. Let me join this party. It's like, you're not going to scare me like that. You're not going to try to intimidate or control me with this kind of bullshit. That's not going to happen. So you guys got to really watch that because that's the kind of stuff that they'll do. And I remember I was told you a story in a recent video about a boyfriend I had and how we were like having a really nice time. And then all of a sudden when we were driving back to his house, he grabs the steering wheel of my new car and like tries to crash it into this cement, structural support pole thing. And it was just like he just lost his mind for a minute. I don't know to this day, I still don't know where that shit came from. But I do know that was the last time that I saw him because it's like, you ain't crashing my shit because you jealous about my new car. You don't have one driving a bucket. I mean, get a better job. I used to work at a law firm. They pay well. All right. Number 7, he starts flirting with other women, right in front of you, or you might find some phone numbers, laying around or in his phone or whatever. Or you catch him making secretive phone calls or, just hiding his phone. He just starts doing stuff different than what he did before. Before it was all open and it was no big deal. You could look at his phone. Now all of a sudden he's snatching out your hand. You can't find him. He's just things are just different and you notice it. Okay, so what do you do? Why is he doing that? He's doing that because either A, he's on his way out of the relationship and he's just keeping you until he makes a full transition, or B, he just wants to make you jealous and push your buttons because, again, that will make him feel empowered and, like he's so wanted and such in fucking demand and all this kind of stuff, right? Either way, that is a fucked up situation to be in, and that's not really an appropriate response to a relationship. That's not anybody that you should really put too much stock in. Um, what should you do if he starts doing that? Well, it depends. I mean, sometimes, they talk about they want to have, female friends, or they want to, do something that's like you find to be a violation. You can, again, fight fire with fire. It's like, oh, is that how we gonna do things? Because you're supposed to be the leader in the relationship, so what's good for the goose is good for the gander. So you gonna do it, I'm gonna do it too. And then you go out and get you, some nice, cute male friends, and you have them calling you. Or you could just sit down and tell them, I know what you're doing. I know this little fucked up game you're trying to play, but let me tell you, you could insist on this path. I'm done with you. It's a wrap, because I'm not going to be treated like this. So, you have two ways. If you don't mind fucking with his head back and you enjoy that kind of sport, then, you can do the first one. If you don't really want to do that, you don't feel like being bothered, you're too mature now, I'm never too mature to play games with people's minds. So that would never, I could be walking with a cane and half blind and in a wheelchair, whatever. I'ma still fuck with somebody's head just because. But if you don't want to, then just be direct and just say, that's not gonna fly here. And if that's the kind of way that you want to conduct yourself, then that means you're not the man for me. And then it's over. Just it's a wrap, and that's fine. Either way is what is a sufficient response. Number 8. It's like next level up from the being secretive thing. He's like, it's like you would swear dude was in a what they call it, witness protection or something. He starts being so undercover, and he starts like giving evasive. You ask him a direct question, right? Oh, what you mean? Oh, I don't know nothing about that. Huh? What? They act like they can't hear you. Or you tell them something, right? They can't remember. They keep forgetting stuff. Or you tell them, you ask him a question and he's gonna answer it with another question. You ask, well, this and that. What you mean? Where was I? Well, I said blah 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 blah. Well, why you asking me that? See what I mean? So you never getting any information, and they can do that shit for 30 minutes. Trust me, I've witnessed it personally. I just went through the whole thing. I'm just kind of sitting there looking at dude like this, like, wow, really? And I, just played along with it, and at the end of it, I, gave him the boot, but. It was interesting because I'm always trying to get research for my shows and my articles and stuff, and I just chalked it up to that and just went on with what he was doing. But how do most of you respond? Most of you get hysterical. You get anxious, you get just go crazy, just get all kinds of fucked up about it because you feel like he's putting all the space between you. It's the end of the relationship. You don't know what you did wrong, so it causes a lot of guilt and a lot of confusion in women, and that's again what he wants. He wants you to feel like that. He wants to throw you off center and make you feel insecure because again it makes him feel more powerful. I mean, this is the overriding theme for most of these games that they play. The next one, number 9, is they cut you off physically. So whereas before he used to hug you, right? You run up to him, you want to hug him, right? He kind of pushes you away. You try to kiss him, he turns his head. He's just very, there's no sex. He don't want to cuddle with you in the bed. It's all the stuff you just start feeling all rejected and alone and like something's wrong with you. You're not cute enough. So you guys, you want to join a gym, you want to go on a diet, you get all this fancy Victoria's Secret lingerie to try to entice him to sleep with you. You just go through all these changes. And I guess it would be normal to wonder, what's going on, but you already know what's going on. He's just acting stupid. So what do you do? Why do most of you respond just the way I said? Why is he doing his game? To get the upper hand, to, to make you feel insecure, or like I said, he's already on his way out the relationship. Either way, either one of those two is all bad for you in this relationship. Is excuse me, there's nothing pointing to goodness out of this situation. So what should you do if he stops being affectionate? He's there's no sex and everything. Again, just reflect on the fact that I keep telling you guys. You're in a situation where you're in a relationship to get benefits, okay? There's nothing wrong with you admitting that that's why you're there. You're there to get benefits from this relationship. You're there to get love, support, affection, understanding, maybe good sex, head of your household, a family. I mean, whatever is your thing, you're in this relationship to get benefits. If those benefits stop, if those benefits are, cut, if those benefits are no longer flowing the way that they were, that got you involved in a relationship, because the nigga's coming up short now and he's doing the shit intentionally. No, 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 no. You just say, look, we no longer have the kind of relationship that I signed on for. So either you fix this shit or I'm out. And you got 7 days. And that's it. I mean, there's no reason for to stay in a relationship that's with a man who's not giving you the relationship that you got into the relationship for. It's like he just did what they used to call it, a bait and switch. And y'all stay in a relationship trying to, make it work. You don't do that. You don't do that. If he's coming up short, he's flipping around, he's tripping and doing half stepping and doing all that stuff. You let him know that you notice. You give him a short period of time to fix the shit. He don't fix it. He's not interested. He don't want to. He's rather do something else. That's fine. But you gonna do all of that over there because I'm not going to be here looking at you do that shit. You're not gonna treat me like that. I'm not gonna stick around for that. And you have to be very clear about it. And the last one. Oh, this one is they played a we don't need labels game, or if you're talking about marriage, well, it's just a piece of paper. Basically, what it is, you want something that's more recognizable, more firm, more definitive between the two of you, which a man who's really into you has no problem doing. If anything, you gonna be like the one mine. It was like proposing multiple times and I kept saying no. But I mean, it's like if a dude is really into you, he's gonna be Johnny on the spot as far as the commitment goes and moving the relationship forward and being responsive to your requests for time and attention and things like that. He wants you to be happy. He wants you to feel comfortable. That's how a man treats you when he really loves you and he's not like a psycho fuck up. Okay, but if you have any kind of doubts, if you're getting treated in any kind of way like this where he's pushing you away, he's making excuses to not give you the relationship or the commitment, the ties and the love that you want, that would make you feel secure in a relationship, give that motherfucker the boot. I keep telling y'all, and I have to say, my sisters are really some loving and committed women, which is part of me. I didn't get that gene. I'm all about me. And if it's not, he's not giving me what I want, there's no reason for me to stick around. I'm on to the next one. But y'all, you will really stick there. You really will try to, be there and work with the brothers and, go through these ups and downs and hill and dale and over yonder and all this stuff to try to keep the relationship with this man alive. I don't do all that. I'm going to put in exactly as much energy as he does. So as soon as he start, they want to be the leader. They want to be the head. They want to, okay, that means you in the front. That means you set the pace, right? Just like a pace car in the Indy. The pace car sets the pace for everybody else. So you want to be the head. You want to be the one in the front. You want to be the one running things. You the pace car, okay? So whatever you do, then if everybody else does it too, you don't have nothing to say. It's not, you did that. You set that pattern in motion. So if I do it too, or I decide to drop out the race altogether and just go on the sidelines and start, dealing with somebody else, that's still you did that. These dudes, you did that. So ladies, of course there's like millions of games. Don't get me wrong and think about it, it's only 10. These are just the ones that I see most frequently, and of course these are very broad. I mean, there's like underneath each one, there's like, a million like micro games underneath each one of these. But this ought to, at least for the young women who are unfamiliar, ladies who've been in marriages for a long time, and now you're back in a singles world, either after divorce or the death of your husband. This is a whole new ball game out here. These folks are just tripping. So you need to don't come out here looking all brand new, thinking that you're gonna be dealing with these people out here in the singles world, and you don't have no tools and no understanding. You will just be like a lamb led to slaughter. So, I hope that this gives you at least a little bit of information that you can use to your advantage. If you have any questions, of course, post them in the comment section below. And, also, I'm going to post a link to a survey that I have up for women and teenage girls that I'd like you to complete. Since all of you are logged onto YouTube, obviously you have a Gmail account, a Google account, so you should be able to log on and do that. I'll put that link in the show description below. It'll stay open for about another week because I want to do a video based on this survey. Anyway, Deb Cooper from survivingdating.com. Thanks for listening. Please become one of my Patreon supporters and share a link so we can get more women up on the bullshit ass games that men play. Thanks. Now that you've seen some of the grade A content that's offered on the Debsterism channel by advice columnist and author Deborah Cooper, please become a subscriber. Just click the subscribe button below, then click the little bell symbol that you'll see. By doing that, you'll be sent notifications directly to your cell phone right after new content is uploaded. So you can be one of the very first people to see the new videos and to comment on them. So please like, please subscribe, please comment, and please share a link and tell a friend. If you can do all those things, I'll love you.